So many of you have ever thought about this topic, then I must say that this particular session is just perfect for you. In today's perspective, overseas education appears to be a life-changing opportunity that provides students with essential global perspectives, cultural awareness, and academic excellence. And to enlighten you more about this, we have our amazing speaker, Mr. Aman Bahara, founder and MD, Meridian Overseas, and a TEDx speaker. From a small village in Rajasthan to Oxford Brookes University, Amar Bahara sir's journey fluid his vision to transform overseas education consulting. As founder of Meridian Overseas, he has guided 1 lakh plus students toward international education through 12 offices across India. A member of Forte, Federation of Rajasthan Trade and Industry, his unique approach combines meditation with career guidance, reaching 500K Instagram followers and 1 billion views. Beyond education, his environmental mission has led to planting 1 lakh trees with a pledge for 11 lakh more by 2030, embodying his commitment to nurturing both minds and nature. I welcome you, sir, on behalf of Subodh College to the stage to enlighten our students more about overseas education. Sir, you are kindly invited on the stage, and I would like to hand over the mic and the stage to you, sir.
Hello everyone, good afternoon, good morning, and thank you all for giving me the time. I am Amar Bahada, founder of Meridian Overseas, and as ma'am has said a lot, so I won't repeat to bore you. So most of you are in 11th or 12th class, right? Yeah. So I'll tell you, when I was at your age, so I'll start from there. I'll make sure that I try to deliver my speech as if I'm in class 11th. So when I was in class 11th, there were a lot of challenges which we were facing 20 years back, or 15 years to be more precise. At when I was in my class 11th in 2006, if we needed to use internet, we have to go to nearest cyber cafe, which was around 2 kilometers, 3 kilometers away. And we used to get 30-minute session, and the internet speed was so slow that you know that कछुए और खरगोश की दौड़ उसमें इंटरनेट सबसे ज़्यादा हार जाता. So that was the situation back then. So we had no information, we had no IT, we had no solutions, we had no digital media as such. But coming forward, I started my schooling from a government school. You all look that you have came from a very good school in Jaipur. And you are sitting at a position where God has already blessed you. You have already received. And you start receiving more blessings. You already have that, and at your age, with the digital media available, with the social media platforms available, the kind of information you already have, make sure you do couple of things to get succeed in your life, which is unimaginable. When I was in class 11th, I could never tell to myself that I will reach to these heights where I'll be sending 1 lakh students from Jaipur to study in Oxford, Cambridge, Harvard, and Imperial. These are the universities where my students are studying. These are the universities where my students are getting placements to Google, Microsoft, Dell, and all these big companies. And these are the students, my friends, are from Jaipur. This very city has produced a lot of kids who are now working at a huge level in Google, Microsoft, and all other companies. And these are the students who had no access to the internet when they were in their class 11th. So imagine that you have everything and what opportunities you have in your life. जब मैं यहाँ आया था आज, तो मेरे को लगा था कि मैं जो अपनी बात रखूंगा वो काफ़ी अलग रहेगी, एजुकेशन पॉलिसीज़ पे हम बात करेंगे, लेकिन इतने प्यारे यूथ को मिलने का जो मेरे को मौका मिला है, तो मैं आपको दो चार अपनी लाइफ की बातें बता देता हूँ। जब गवर्नमेंट स्कूल से निकलने के बाद फुलेरा गांव से मैं निकलता हूँ और मुरलीपुरा में एक स्कूल है, वहाँ पे मैंने एजुकेशन करी थी, एनके पब्लिक स्कूल। लेकिन मैं क्रिकेट खेलता था, तो अंडर 16 क्रिकेट टूर्नामेंट था राजस्थान का, आरसीए करवा रहा था, तो उसमें मेरे को चांस मिला कि मैं यूके की टीम के लिए सेलेक्ट हो गया। तो मैं क्रिकेट खेलने पहली बार यूके गया, और उसके बाद में जैसे जैसे मेहनत करते चले गए वैसे वैसे रास्ते खुलना शुरू हो गए। तो आप अभी 11th में हो, 12th में हो, तीन चीज़ें मैं आपको कहूँगा। पहली कि अपने को ग्रेटिट्यूड से फिल करो, आपके पास जो है उसको अप्रिशिएट करो। दूसरा, जो भूख है सक्सेस के लिए उसको हमेशा जगाते रहो। ओनली हंग्री पीपल फॉर सक्सेस विल मेक द डिफरेंस। स्टीव जॉब्स ने कहा था थिंक डिफरेंटली। उन्होंने पूरा मेडिटेशंस में वो गए, नेचर से प्यार किया, और उन्होंने जो कंपनी बनाई आज वर्ल्ड की सबसे वैल्यूएबल कंपनी है। और वो स्टीव जॉब्स, वो कंपनी आप बना सकते हो, ये कॉन्फिडेंस देने में आपको आया हूं। कोई भी ऐसा व्यक्ति नहीं है जो आपको रोक सके। आप ग्रेटिट्यूड से फिलफुल हो जाओ, आप वो भूख जगा लो, और जो मेहनत आपको लगती है, आज हमारे पास काफ़ी सारी चीज़ें ऐसी है जो कि हमें कॉन्फिडेंस लैक करती है। जैसे अगर आपने सोशल मीडिया यूज़ करना शुरू किया और 4 घंटे अगर आपने रील्स देखी, तो रील्स देखना बुरा नहीं है या 4 घंटे सोशल मीडिया पे जाना बुरा नहीं है, लेकिन उसकी वजह से जो आपकी कॉन्फिडेंस में गिरावट आएगी, जो आप अंदर से अपना कॉन्फिडेंस लूज कर दोगे कि एक छोटे से डिवाइस ने मेरे 4 घंटे यूज कर लिए बिना मुझे पता हुए, तो वो आपका सेल्फ कॉन्फिडेंस गिरा देगा। और वो सेल्फ कॉन्फिडेंस मेरे भाइयों अपने को किसी भी हालत में नहीं गिराना है। अगर वो आपने बचा के रख लिया तो आप हर सक्सेस पा जाओगे, इसकी मैं आपको गारंटी देता हूँ। करीब करीब मेरिडियन ओवरसीज स्टार्ट करने के बाद हमने 1 लाख स्टूडेंट्स को अभी तक भेजा है बाहर। बहुत अच्छी अच्छी यूनिवर्सिटीज़ में प्लेस्ड हैं। उसके रिगार्डिंग कोई भी आपको इन्फॉर्मेशन चाहिए, गाइडेंस चाहिए, आप मेरे से मिल सकते हो। मैं सोशल मीडिया प्लेटफॉर्म्स पे 4 घंटे तो आप मेरे को नहीं झेल पाओगे, लेकिन 1-2 मिनट की रील्स आप मेरी देख सकते हो। अमर भाड़ा के नाम से इंस्टाग्राम और हर जगह पे मैं अवेलेबल हूँ। अपनी सारी जो भी आप कोर्सेज कर रहे हो उनके ऊपर मेरी करियर काउंसलिंग से मेरिडियन ओवरसीज़ जो हमारी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, उसमें मैंने 12th में अगर आपके पास बायोलॉजी है, मैथ्स है, साइंस है, डेटा साइंस, आप किस में जा सकते हो, क्या क्या करियर अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ हैं। आपके पास 12th के बाद में 4, 5 या 6 फील्ड्स नहीं है, 4000, 5000 या 6000 फील्ड्स आपके लिए ओपन है। फॉर एग्जांपल अगर मैं आपको बताऊं, जैसे अगर आपने 12th कॉमर्स से करी है तो आपके पास करीब करीब 1000 कोर्सेज अवेलेबल हैं, विच इंक्लूड्स AI, बायोडाइवर्सिटी AI, ज्योग्राफिकल AI। तो ऐसे कई सारे कोर्सेज हैं जो कि मर्जर हैं, बिजनेस AI, बिजनेस कंप्यूटिंग AI। तो ऐसे अनगिनत कोर्सेज हैं जो मैं आपको बता सकता हूं, जिसके ऊपर अगर आप थोड़ी सी रिसर्च करेंगे, अभी से अपना करियर प्लान करेंगे, तो बजट जो है उसका कांस्टेंट नहीं आता है। फ्री एजुकेशन से लेके टॉप यूनिवर्सिटीज़ के अंदर आपको वर्ल्ड की टॉप 10 रैंकिंग यूनिवर्सिटी तक आपको मिल सकती है। तो ये सारी अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ आपके लिए ओपन है, और उसके ऊपर आपको मेहनत करना है, उसकी तरफ आपको देखना है। अब टाइम वो नहीं रहा कि हम कैसे भी ग्रेजुएशन कंप्लीट कर लें और लाइफ में सक्सेस मिल जाएगी। आपको देखना होगा कि वेयर माई पैशन ड्राइव्स मी, वेयर माई एक्सपीरियंस ड्राइव्स मी, एंड देन अकॉर्डिंगली यू हैव टू सेलेक्ट कि करियर में आपको आगे क्या करना है। And do not block yourself, do not block your mind with the perspective that IIT and medical are the two opportunities in the world. There are far greater things than IITs and medical education. The problem is that 10 lakh students appears, and then when I see the pain of depression and anxiety and all those things, you don't need that. You all are smart enough to understand that there are a lot of things in life which you can achieve. And also to help you further, मेरिडियन ओवरसीज़ के अंदर हमें यूके से मेरे पार्टनर ने ज्वाइन किया है, जो कि अब सिर्फ जयपुर में ही रहते हैं. पिछले 2 साल से ये काफ़ी सारे स्टूडेंट्स को हेल्प कर रहे हैं. मिस्टर निक कैरी, एंड ही हैज़ स्टडीड फ्रॉम यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ लंदन, and he is available in Jaipur for your counseling. So those teachers, parents, or even students who are looking forward to explore, हम लोग क्या करते हैं, हम आपको गाइड सिर्फ इतना करते हैं कि आपके जो ऑप्शंस हैं अभी आपके हेड में 6 से 8, हम आपका कैनवस वो जो है वो बड़ा कर देते हैं. हम उसमें आपको 6000 7000 ऑप्शंस तक अवेलेबल करवाते हैं. उसके लिए आपको हैंड होल्ड काउंसलिंग देते हैं. उसके लिए आपको जो भी सपोर्ट चाहिए एडमिशन प्रोसेस के अंदर, वो एडमिशन प्रोसेस हम आपको उसके अंदर हेल्प करते हैं. तो ये जो पूरी आपकी 11th से लेके कॉलेज जर्नी रहती है, उसके अंदर हम आपको सारी चीज़ों का ब्रीफ करते हैं कि कौन सी करिकुलर एक्टिविटीज़ आपको करनी है, किस तरीके से आप आगे बढ़ सकते हो. बाकी इसके ऊपर निक ऐड करना चाहेंगे, उनका एक्सपीरियंस शेयर करना चाहेंगे जयपुर में कैसा रहा. सो निक, इफ़ यू कैन प्लीज़ कम ऑन द स्टेज एंड गिव योर 10 minutes. Thank you. Thank you everyone. Thank you for having me.
Namaskar. So, I've come up here and I want to talk mainly about two things. First of all, how India is great, and second of all, how reading is great, and how these two are kind of connected. Amarji mentioned how you must be hungry for success, and I'm sure every one of you is hungry for success. But when you're hungry, it's important in the long run to think about what nutrients you're putting into your body. Some of you might be using Instagram. Some of you might be looking at reels or looking at comments on YouTube to try and boost your knowledge or to boost your capacity for learning. But what is so important and is often a forgotten skill is the skill of reading and academic excellence that it brings. I want to talk to you about a man called Frederick Douglass. Has anyone here heard of a man called Frederick Douglass? That's a real shame. He's not so well known, but I think he should be a lot more famous than he is today. He was an American that was born in slavery in America. And if you know anything about slavery in America and what was important to help keep slaves in their low position, it was to stop them from education. Because people who are enslaved, they don't know how to take their own freedom. But what Frederick Douglass realized from a very young age is the power of being educated. He was denied education his whole life, but he spotted from an early age the harsh rebuke that his master's wife gave her after she was teaching him how to read. And he said, "You do not teach a slave to read. If you give them an inch, they will take a mile." And from a very young age, he tricked other people. He looked for any excuse possible to learn how to read. He would challenge other young white people who had education to correct him on his English and to correct him on his spelling. He would find his master's son's old textbooks and sneak them into his quarters and learn to read from them. He has a famous quote, "Once you learn to read, you'll be forever free." Now, India has also faced some similar struggles in its history. As a Brit, I think it's quite clear what I'm talking about. We're not even 80 years from the end of colonialism. And India is described as a developing country still, but I would disagree. I would call it a recovering country. The marks of colonialism are still there today. And as we can see, as Amar also mentioned, how we might not feel privileged here, but I think we should all feel privileged to be in this room and to be at the schools that you are at. And I'm sure you recognize that India still has many, many barriers and many, 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 many things that it needs to overcome to be success. And what it needs to help still recover from colonialism and continue being one of the greatest countries in the world as it is now. I think it's in the top 6 economies in the world, which is absolutely incredible. If you compare it to any other country that Britain had colonized and taken huge advantages of, India is far leading in that realm. And that is because it is a country that embraces academia, and it embraces leadership. And it needs people like you, young people like yourselves, to be the leaders of tomorrow. Leaders such as Sundar Pichai, who was at the Trump inauguration yesterday and is the CEO of Google, but born in Tamil Nadu, and is now one of the most influential and powerful people in the world. We also have leaders such as Ratan Tata, rest in peace, who established immense wealth and power and created huge services and products that are valuable to Indians all over, not just all in India, but outside of India as well. And his leadership, his innovation, and his thirst for knowledge is what really helped him succeed and help others around him succeed. I hope I'm saying their names right. I don't want to sound like Donald Trump and butchering Indian names, like Sachin Tendulkar. I hope I'm not like him. But like Sundar Pichai and Ratan Tata, these people share a common thing. They both studied abroad. They had realized that if they wanted to feed their hunger for success, they would need to go to one of the top universities abroad. And that is something that I hope for many, many of you in this room. Reading is your ticket to everywhere. It can make you live many lives. If you don't read, you're just going to live one. But reading can literally be your ticket to anywhere. It can be your discount ticket to anywhere. If you're a strong reader, universities will see you differently. I see far too many people in the younger generations, and even in my generation, who have lost the value of reading, the calmness it gives you, the patience it gives you, but also the unique perspective that it encourages you all to have. And when I say it's a discount ticket, it literally can be. As many universities, at these top universities, are offering incredible discounts, sometimes up to 10 or 15 lakh rupees for people who can really show their academic brilliance and their reading. I want to finish by talking about some of the brilliant successes that India have had just in the last 80 years, and how it is reaching for the stars, much like you. And on its way to reaching the stars, it has reached other planets, it has reached the moon. These are incredible, incredible feats. In fact, I recently learned that the cost of India making it to the moon in kilometers was even cheaper than an auto in terms of the distance traveled. And that's another thing I love about Indians. You love a good deal. India has a beautiful culture, and that's something you should all be proud of and recognize. Your culture of guest is God, Aditi Devo Bhava, is a beautiful, beautiful concept that I, as a guest in your country, feel every moment. And that's something that you should really cherish, and you should understand and be proud of. Also, your devotion to secularism is the Sarva Dharma Sambhava. This is very rare, and you achieve this at a very early age compared to most other countries. And it's important for recognizing how we are all equal, and we should all deserve equal respect. And this is something that, going forward, is what's going to lead to humanity's success. So, I want you to take home from this speech how reading is vital, and hopefully you realize that social media can be very harmful to you. I see so many negative things about India just on social media, and as somebody that lives in India and somebody that loves many, many Indians, I know it's rubbish, and I hope that you understand that it's rubbish, and you take it with the good grace that I see many Indians taking, where you see your own path and you stick to it and ignore any other nonsense or harmful things that might try to impede your progress. Because progress is in all of our DNA, and we should embrace it, but we must also make sure we're taking the right steps to see it through. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Your journey, right, beginning from the humble backgrounds to transforming the lives of millions of children, is truly an inspiration. आप उन चंद लोगों में से हैं जिन्होंने ना ही सिर्फ खुद के सपनों को साकार किया बल्कि लाखों और बच्चों के सपनों को भी साकार कर रहे हैं. इसके लिए हम तहे दिल से आपका धन्यवाद करते हैं. And I would like to thank Mr. Nick sir also for this enlightening session. And shall we proceed for the next session?